Senator Moncion. First question for Mr. Robitaille. I would like to speak of the role of the Commissioner of Official Languages. What do you think of the measures that are in place to diligently defend in a reasonable way these measures? And can you speak to us about how to implement rules and regulation that would be even more explicit in order to support the employees in Quebec that are federally regulated? Madam Senator, if I answer, you'll let me know if I have answered your question correctly, because I'm not sure if I've understood all of the nuances. I think that it is important to give powers to the Commissioner on Official Languages in order to make sure the law is respected. With regards to linguistic rights, we can go up to the courts instead of the tribunals, which is what we might have to do if we want the Charter on French language in Quebec be respected. We would have to go up to the tribunals. The new federal law would give rights to the Commissioner appears to me something that will allow workers to have more rights, linguistically speaking, of course. So I do think that the powers that will be attributed to the Commissioner will be something positive. I think it's very complete, but I'm not sure that I understood the scope of your question. I will go deeper. When we speak of C-13, we talk about defining mechanisms of collaboration between the Commissioner and the OQLF, or between the OQLF and another Canadian organization. Can you speak to me about the necessity of implementing these mechanisms of collaboration? I do understand. I think that it is essential when we're talking about cooperative federalism, when the federal parliament and the legislative assemblies, or rather the provincial and federal the provinces have different responsibilities legally. If we want to avoid, or rather be more efficient, then I do think that it is important for the Commissioner to have that power. The Minister also has that power, I believe, and I think that that is described in this bill. Of course, there are constitutional and legal issues that will come up with this new bill. First, of course, this isn't a criticism, and governments do this often, but we don't really know the details of the linguistic rights that are recognized. There are principles that are inscribed in this bill, but of course, these laws will, of course, be a lot more concrete. Will federal law allow employees of federally regulated businesses in Quebec to have the same rights as what is inscribed in the Charter of French rights in Quebec? But as you mentioned, the cooperation between these different instances is very important in order to make sure everything is respected.